Is this or is this not a robot? Honeywell Controls, the giant computer firm, present what they call a lifelike girl robot. But watch this demonstration carefully. Closing that door to rig up the robot is suspicious. Is this computerized control or is it a conjuring trick? The robot is called Miss Honeywell, presented as the ultimate in automation, the human-tronic saleswoman of tomorrow. At the Instruments, Electronics and Automatic exhibition at Olympia, she, or it, or maybe he, had the boffins bewildered. Study Miss Honeywell yourself. Animal, vegetable or mineral, science or science fiction. Whatever else she may be, Miss Honeywell pulls in the crowds, even at a refined exhibition which only the top technicians can begin to comprehend. Honeywell's own spokesman says he himself doesn't know if this is electronic or mechanical or human flesh. The compere of this show tells his audience that Miss Honeywell would make a good assistant to any sales manager. He, she or it replies, "Assistant, nothing. I'd make someone a very good wife," if he were a BSc and mechanically minded. All in a high-pitched voice like one of the television Daleks. That man may give us a clue. He's just charged Honeywell Controls £2,000 for bringing Miss Honeywell over here to do her tricks from Hollywood, of all places. There's something fishy or fleshy about this show. Now, what's the man's name? Mark Wilson. His Hollywood firm's called Magical Productions, and he himself used to be a conjurer. Let's see what happens when Miss Honeywell is back in her cabinet. He can prove she's a genuine robot simply by taking her head off in the open. That's all he has to do. But oh no. He's closed the cabinet, he says, because there are delicate microcircuits, integrated digital logic nodules not to be disturbed. Well, he could have fooled me.
Some of the most famous fashion designers in the US today have been asked to forecast what Eve will look like in AD 2000. One idea is a dress that can be adapted for morning, afternoon, or evening. It's the sleeves what does it. According to another artist, one dress of the future will consist of transparent net. The net, probably to catch the males. Apparently in AD 2000 we shall be having a hair-raising time. Yet another designer goes so far as to believe that skirts will disappear entirely. Shoes will have cantilever heels, and an electric belt will adapt the body to climatic changes. The lightly clad woman of tomorrow, ooh, swish, will move in an atmosphere that's scientifically kept at the right temperature. The future bride in a wedding dress of glass. What the groom will wear, apart from a worried look, isn't mentioned. A dress of aluminium, with a sash to change it for afternoon or evening, and an electric headlight to help her to find an honest man. As for him, if he matters at all, there won't be any shaving, collars, ties, or pockets. He'll be fitted with a telephone, a radio, and containers for coins, keys, and candy for cuties.
Like this. Here's something that's escaped from science fiction to invade Lady Godiva's super-modern city of Coventry, all for the sake of a student's rag. Dodger the Dalek is a robot newspaperman that sells rag magazines. John Aubrey of the Lancaster College of Technology designed this radio-controlled monstrosity all in the interests of charity, and it's far less shocking than some of the students' stunts. This electronic contrivance intrigues the public without personally inconveniencing them.
Robots can play and work. Here's a somewhat sinister mechanical marvel that can really be taken to task. In this case, for the manufacture of injection-molded plastic sinks. Unimate, as they call it, can even take a hand in reproducing itself. It's a robot that has more than a cool grip on things. It has a kind of mind, which can be programmed like a computer. But this is where it meets its master, of the human variety. Since we're looking ahead to the days of machine-aided leisure, just imagine the scene when Mr. and Mrs. 2000 sit down to breakfast with their very own automatic au pair, which makes the pop-up toaster seem primeval. The British firm that makes this US invention isn't advocating it as an armour-plated home help. It costs £7,500. But this idyllic breakfast scene illustrates the ingenious intricacy that can be applied to complicated but repetitive industrial manoeuvres. And while Mr. 2000 goes off to his work, naturally he'll be a computer programmer, the missus can settle down to the high life and enjoy watching someone or thing get on with it. It's well worth celebrating. Go on, grab it, mate. I mean, Unimate. There you go. Unimate will do whatever you tell it, and it never forgets. You just have to remember to switch it off, or it'll go on raiding the larder all day and night. And that could mean having an automatic one-armed bandit round the house.